to that appointment. You know, and as you say, when it should be like the focus should be on England. You know, I'm not sure from a club perspective. I'm not sure there's much we could do about that because we really needed to make an appointment. Whether we made the appointment today, whether we made the appointment, excuse me, a week ago, or you know, or whatever. You know, those questions would still have been asked. You know, so like it was still going to impact. You know, his plans or his preparations. I think so. I am pleased with the appointment. You know, so I think as a coach, and like from what I'd seen of what his, you know, from him and his team in the Premier League, you know, I thought that they were a good team to watch. I like watching Wolves. I think tactically he was, you know, he's clever. You know what I mean? And there's a number of the players, excuse me, a number of the players in his squad that I coveted. You know, he's had some really good players, and they play really well. And you know, you look at players like Jota that went out from there to Liverpool. You got. I don't know. I'm not sure we can. You know, people talk about him being like, you know, negative or whatever. I don't understand that, because
no, I don't.
I agree.
The quality of players that he has, and how he's improved them, and you know,
he does have a philosophy though. I think his I've done a bit of research on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think his philosophy is to have possession, but not to overpossess the ball. So if you can move the ball forward rather than sideways, and you know, just keep passing it for passing's sake, then that's what he prefers. And I think that's an interesting point of view. So maybe because he doesn't play the tiki-taka type of football, people do perceive him to be less of a possession style manager and more of a defensive. But he certainly is. He's more of a counter attack, maybe. But
he likes to press as well.
He likes to press really high,
so
especially down the flanks.
Yeah. And that is, you know, that's going back to where we were as a club when we were really doing well. So
yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't. I think my issue really is the negative reaction to it. You know,
from Sarah.
I wouldn't say I'm negative. I said I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. But
you said you were underwhelmed, Sarah.
Underwhelmed, yeah, because I think we're right to want more. And I'm not saying I'm not going to back him. I'm not saying I'm not going to support him. I'm not saying I'm not going to enjoy the football.
Yeah.
Did I want a showier name? Yeah, of course I did. But I also want a 5-bedroom house with 100 dogs. I'm never going to fucking get it, am I?
But apart from Conte, who I don't think would have been the right fit for Spurs, who would have been your ideal person to come in?
I honestly don't know, but you asked me how I felt, and I just felt a little bit meh. You know, I like his football, I like his style, but I just sort of felt like I'm not sure that's enough to keep.
I think anybody with
some of the biggest names and stuff. And,
a surname of Espírito Santo, surely, you know, that's the best name ever, isn't it?
I think some of the responses on the announcement tweet, I think that was sort of, you know, the sort of thing that when you sort of look and you think, oh, I'm going to be not excited, because just, you know, it's just the same, you know, the similar sort of stuff that you always get people that you. I don't particularly think, actually, Sarah, that you've been negative, and your reaction hasn't bothered me, and it hasn't affected me at all. I think it's more, you know, just the same old. On Twitter,
just people being unhappy to be unhappy, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day, and that's why I don't really spend too much time on Twitter anymore. I have a little bit of a browse, and then I go, yeah, well, this is why I'm here for, you know, Paddy Power saying, you know, oh, this is England's chance to get back at Germany for losing 4-1 when they should have just lost 4-2 with that goal being disallowed. I was like, that's what I'm on Twitter for. That sort of humour. I'm not on Twitter to look at the people to just being offended to be offended and all of that jazz. That's not what it was there for. But I get what you mean. It's tiring with how complaining everybody is. And I'm saying, right, let's get behind the boys now. Let's hopefully that they can play some nice football that we want to see, some positive football, and let's hope that we can find a system that gets the best out of our best players. And that Nuno gets back to the way he wants to get back, because it doesn't come down to us at the end of the day. It comes down to them and what they want to do. And I think as long as he seems happy and the squad seems happy, the deadwood that the manager wants goes, he might well like Sissoko. Just warning you guys, I think Sissoko fits into his formation pretty well. we might be stuck with a Momo and a Højbjerg midfield.
I'm not gonna name names, but there was like someone that put on Twitter that if Nuno comes out and in his first couple of interviews and says that he wants to, it's a fresh start for all the players in the squad, then that was it as far as he's concerned. Then
I know
who that was.
And that, and I think it's, and people can say that they're saying these things in jest, but it's these type of reactions that you have to question. I mean, what is that about? I don't understand that. But, you can't have on the one hand someone say what someone did say is that it's too late an appointment. He won't have time to assess the squad. And then on the other hand, you have someone saying, well, if he comes in and says, I need to assess the squad effectively, where is it? What's going on? I mean, this is, and as you say, Sarah, I mean, this is Twitter. That is the, I guess that's the wonder. That's the wonder of the wonder of Twitter. So we didn't want to go on for too long, so we'll try and wrap up. So what would you like? He's got the Conference League and domestic trophies to aim at. So what would constitute success and what would constitute failure for you, Sarah?
Where did we finish this year? 7th.
Yeah.
I think we must improve on that, full stop. I don't think the improvement jump will be big enough to get top 4. I think that would be an overachievement, frankly.
We weren't very far off top 4.
We weren't, but I still think that we were sort of lucky that everybody else was just as bad as we were. I think the gap could have been a lot bigger in another year, but we don't know how much COVID affected squads, etc. The amount of games and all of that. But I think we must improve on top 7, so 6 upwards. I do think top 4 would be an overachievement. To be honest, frankly, I'm probably a bad person for saying that. A couple of decent domestic cup runs. I'd like to see. I think for us, we just don't want to see what we saw in the final against City, which felt like limping over the line, right? So if we get to a final and we lose, blood and thunder, that's an improvement on last season.
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it? We just want to see them having a good go, and I don't feel like we saw that for long portions of last season, including the cup final.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, even at games, I think we saw us have a great first half and a rubbish second half, and that is just so demoralising because you just know that we're better than that.
Yeah.
But I think for me, to have a good cup run would be great. So you need a bit of luck in that. But I just think to just reinstill a bit of pride, just make us want to watch the team like we were under Pochettino. So every game you turned up to or watched, it wasn't a case that you expected to win, but you did expect us to put in a shift, as you say, Sarah.
I don't think that's a lot to want, is it?
Not really. I think that's the minimum, really.
Yeah, I think we come across as ungrateful, but and I think Daniel Levy probably rolls his eyes at us, but we just want to be proud and hold our head up high and say, well, we lost 2-1 to City, but freaking hell, we gave them a run for their money, or whoever we're playing, and I couldn't tell you a loss I was proud of last year. Whereas if I think back to the year we lost the title for Leicester, you know, when we lost the Battle of the Bridge, and everyone's like, "Oh God, you guys were proud of that." Well, yeah, I fucking was, because they were hurting, they were showing it, and they were trying. And by God, did they try to win that game of football? That's just what you want as a fan, because what they were showing on that pitch was everything we were feeling. And you know, last season it just looked like can't bothered, don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
So must improve top 7, and I'll take that and a nice little cup run.
Yeah.
Steve?
Agree.
A cup. So I mean, yeah, I think I agree with that. I don't think a cup. I think a cup run needs to have a successful conclusion somewhere.
Agreed.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I don't know who's going to go out. I think part of his job and Paratici's job really is to try and mold that squad and you know and make it, like, freshen it up and make it more dynamic and get the players, you know, playing to their optimum. I think with the, like, you know, with the majority and the nucleus of the squad that we have, we should be aiming to win a domestic cup. That, you know, that needs to be a minimum. We really need to win a domestic cup. Those players deserve that. You know, so yeah, that should be, for me, that's the aim. I agree that actually with all the improvements that all the other clubs have made, top 4 I think will be, you know, is probably going to be out of reach. I think if we manage to achieve top 4, that'll be an overachievement. And I think that I hope that the fans and Levy or Paratici give Nuno the opportunity to evolve the squad so that it's more of an organic process to improvement. So, you know, hopefully, you know, next season, look for maybe 5th, because we, you know, that's an marked improvement on where we are this season, and then you know, and keep improving year on year. So then the following season, hopefully 4th or 3rd. But, you know, at the same time as doing that, and this is where hopefully someone needs to step in terms of how we define and run the club, that there needs to be some prioritization of saying that actually, if we get to a cup final, or if we're getting close to winning the cup final, then our focus needs to be on that cup final for that period of time. And I don't know if, hopefully, with the League Cup maybe going back to being in February or March or whenever the final is, that gives us an opportunity to say, right, go hell for leather for that, get it out of the way, and actually get something out of the way early in the season to then, you know, focus on a good end to the season in the league. I don't know. Yeah. The other thing, obviously, would be nice to be the winners of the inaugural conference trophy. Just because, you know, everyone took the piss out of it, but if we could go and win it, then that's a European trophy, and it's another first for Tottenham, who are a club of firsts.
It'll probably be the one and only time anybody's ever won it, knowing our luck, if we went and won it first time round.
Even better. That'd be even better, that we were the first ones to win it, the only ones that could ever win it. You know,
bit like the Emirates Cup, isn't it? Arsenal were the only ones to ever win it. They changed the rules, right?
Yeah, they do. Well, they just award it to themselves.
But exactly, they were the only ones who could ever win it. You know, I think that was the difference. But yeah,
I just noticed your screen names, Andy. Yes, to Nuno.
Yeah.
It's only been like that the whole time.
I've been looking at his beautiful bald head instead.
I wondered if you were sitting in darkness because we didn't want us to see the tears coursing down your face at the point, the prospect of where the club is going.
I got the window open. I don't want the bugs to come in.
Yeah.
So,
good
precious self. Right, guys.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it's been great to catch up. Yeah, I think that's, you know, that's a wrap. I think as Andy
make
says,
us proud, Nuno. I think that's what it is.
That's what he said, didn't he? In his little, have you seen his little YouTube release video or whatever that he did?
No.
No, what did he say?
Well, he said, "I'll do everything to make you proud," or something of this club. So
there we go.
It's really. I don't know if it was just my YouTube, but it says like I got a notification saying like Nuno welcome video